In an AU, instead of tolerating Marin's nonsense, Uda would have just snatched the wig right off her bald-ass head for failing to be a decent person.
This is the Caught Win podcast. We're talking about PreCure. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cure of the What Now? Law! The one show where we know that sometimes your best friends might go away for a little while, come back completely transformed in a different body, you might say, and good for them.
Absolutely. We respect all chosen names.
All fairies that become humans and any other experience that might look like, you know?
No.
No, you don't know?
Okay. I do know, yeah. Who are you?
I'm your host, Joel, and also I'm a big fan of... Oh no, I forgot their names. Can I think of one of their names? Of Zoe from the KPop Demon Hunters. And so now every thought that I have is just about her.
The mean one is Mira.
That's right. Yeah. The one we thought might have been voiced by Stephanie Beatrice, I think is her name.
Yes, exactly. And I'm your co-host, Kat. And I, too, convinced my friend to give up their memories of all their other friends so that they would have no choice but to only hang out with me because I'm a good person.
That sounds really creepy when you put it like that.
I hate Marin so much.
All right, so this is Cure of the What Now Law. This is a show where we are currently, this season, discussing the show You Idol PreCure. But before we get into that, quick announcement. It's really hard to do this YouTube thing and podcasting thing. So I one day want to become a published writer, author. And so this year I've been trying to give myself writing challenges each month, which means I want to write 20,000 words by the end of the month. And I keep track of how many I wrote every day. And I want to write every day. And the last month, I took a break from writing and was able to kind of stay on top of the podcasting stuff. But now I'm back to writing. I have less free time. You were out of the country for like a week.
Not quite.
I was doing secret stuff that I will never speak about that I'll take to my grave. Gary will never be the same again.
Joel.
No one's seen Gary, and it's my
Gary?
fault. Now, all of that to say, we want to continue talking about PreCure. We want to keep talking about Magnus Archives. If you haven't seen What Now, you should definitely check it out. Magnus Archives is a really good podcast. We want to keep talking about other things that we've been watching, reading, listening to. I have a big project that I kind of want to start, but it's difficult to find the time.
Is it 20 more Five Nights at Freddy's videos?
It is not 20 more Five Nights at Freddy's videos. Although, I have recorded the next one, but I need to listen to it. I need to figure out if there's anything that's missing. Then I need to edit, and I want to turn it into a video editing process. And that's its own process. It takes a while. So please be kind with us. Please be patient with us. We are going to continue trying to get Cure of the What Now out monthly. We're going to continue to be near the end of the month, it looks like. This is 2 months in a row.
As long as we're doing our best.
And we also want to do one episode of What Now once a month. So theoretically, it should be every 2 weeks we bring you at least some kind of consistency. But who knows? You know, maybe we'll find time, maybe we won't.
Yeah. Again, we do this for us.
That's true.
It's cool that you're here.
Yeah.
Just keep listening, but don't get mad at us, because we're doing what we can.
That's true. Also, if you are a podcatcher listener, you listen on...
I'm going to interrupt Joel here. The dogs are wrestling in the background. There is no way around it. The dogs are going to wrestle. I apologize for the quiet dog wrestling sounds.
Yeah, we're puppy sitting, and now we have 2 dogs that just want to wrestle all day. And then we have an older dog who's mad that she's not getting the same attention as the 2 young puppies.
She's standing underneath me right now, staring up at me with her big eyes with her ball in her mouth. Like, are you sure it's not ball time?
Also, really quick, if you listen to us on your podcatcher of choice... for example, I use Podcast Addict. I think iTunes has some kind of Apple Listen or something. I have started playing around with video editing, and so the last 2 FNAF Five Nights at Freddy's videos I've produced have some visual effects, so you could check those out, and you could support us on YouTube. So that's just that.
I think the visual effects are pretty good.
I spent not a lot of time, but I spent time on them to make them look pretty good. Catherine, what have we been listening to or watching or talking about other than PreCure lately?
Mainly the Magnus Archives, which I will not waste people's time on because we have another podcast about that. KPop Demon Hunters.
K-Pop Demon Hunters has come out since we recorded our last episode. It's really good.
I would love to do an episode where we just workshop what it could have looked like if it was like a season of a TV show instead of a movie.
Right.
Because I feel like there's a lot that could have been like fleshed out.
Absolutely. If you somehow have found us, but you haven't found K-Pop Demon Hunters, I don't know how, because apparently one of their songs became more popular than a BTS song, like the #1 song. But it is a basically magical girl animated movie about some Korean pop stars who also fight demons, and some of those songs are right bangers.
That was an interesting way to say that.
How else
know.
do someone... Okay.
No, it's not wrong. It's just sometimes you come out with like these Britishisms or like Australianisms because you listen to a wide variety of podcasters. And that's funny to me because you're an American man.
That's true. I like The Weekly Planet, and I like Fully Ramblionic. Anyways, the other thing that just came out recently is Superman. If you haven't seen Superman, why haven't you gone to see it? But it is a very good movie, and I really liked it because it gave us a hopeful Superman, a Superman who cares about the people, and a Superman whose main task is to be good.
It was very wholesome and like just a nice movie to watch.
Absolutely.
Also, Crypto.
Crypto
So good.
is a great addition to the movie, even if he's not necessarily a good boy.
If you're afraid to watch this movie because you're worried something will happen to Crypto, spoilers, but Crypto is fine. Crypto survives the movie.
They make you think at the beginning that something has happened to him, and it's a very emotional scene. This movie actually upset me quite a bit up until like the turning point when the hero started winning again, because that's the movie formula. They're not winning for a while and then they start winning, and I was really bummed out by the not winning stuff, but eventually it becomes hopeful at the end.
Absolutely.
You could also check out on YouTube. It's a completely free to watch anime. I've only seen the first episode. I don't know if it gets weird because sometimes romance or harem animes do that, but there is a all girls Yuri anime called I Would Never Become Your Lover Unless. And I love the meme there, right? Unless. According to Mother's Basement, there's actually a single Japanese word that is the whole title.
Really?
Yeah, so I guess there's one Japanese word that means. But I liked the first episode. It seemed pretty cute. Anyways, we do not have a lot of time today, so that's all of the recommendations we have for you. We could call it, What Are We Recommending? That section where we talk about what we've been doing.
We're recommending what now?
So, this episode of Cure of the What Now Law, we are covering 5 episodes. Episode 17, episode 18, 19, 20, and 21. Now, we did not have time to go back and rewatch these episodes as we sometimes prefer to do, but I do have my notes app.
And I have the succinctest of succinct summaries for you if you would like to hear it.
Oh, yes, please.
Okay. Episode 17. Pururun does something, and now there's new idols. Episode 18. The idols are here. Wait, could it be Pururun and Marurin? Episode 19. Pururun's got no memories. That'd be real sad. Episode 20. We get Pururun's memories back? No, they're gone forever. And then episode 21. Just kidding, they're not gone forever. Magic of friendship.
That is wonderful. Absolutely. I was just going to say what I wrote down in my notes app is episode 17, Pururun is sad. 18, Who is Zukyoon? 19, The girls look for Zukyoon and kiss. 20, Memories episode. 21, Get Pururun's memories back. So, more or less, we came to the same conclusions with slightly different words.
Yours was even succincter than mine. I thought I was like really doing something there. Because I've seen your notes. I thought you were going to go a little bit more descriptive on each episode.
No. We're going to talk about each episode. That's what this podcast is about. And when we discuss each episode, I can talk about it. Without having gone back and rewatched these episodes, I distinctly remember watching the third episode, 19, and going, didn't we just watch this episode? Because high 20,000 foot view of these episodes. The first episode is Pururun goes to Kurarabala land, and there's a big mystery about like what's going to happen, and then that episode ends with 2 new Cures showing up. Who could they possibly be? And then the next episode, 18, they're like, we need to figure out who these 2 are. We're going to look for them. And then episode 19 is, who are these 2? We're going to look for them. I think thinking back that one of those episodes was Uda basically falling in love with Zukyoon, and the next episode is we need to figure out who they are. And then there's an episode where they go on a picnic, and then there's an episode where friendship is the true magic all along. So, All right, episode 17, Poor and Sad. Do you have anything to say about this magic system? Cough, cough.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so Mararun has this heart lock, and if you lock away your greatest treasure, you get your wish granted. Mm-hmm. And Pururun's wish was to be able to help the PreCure, and Pururun's greatest treasure is their memories with Uda. So it's a very emotional episode. I got teary watching this episode. But what did Mararun give up?
I mean, they play that off as a mystery, right? We find out later, we see someone saying, like, oh, you'll find out eventually what Mararun gave up. However, there's nothing we've seen them interact with that they would be unwilling to give up, except for Pururun, but Pururun's still there. So, like, maybe at the end of the series, it's going to be revealed that Mararun gave up her lifespan and that she won't be able to be together with Pururun because she's going to get turned into a rock or something. But the thing is, we now know that this magic can easily be hacked. You just have to wish really hard.
Yeah, but that requires, like, the power of friendship, and Mararun has no friends. Except for Pururun. I want to comment on something really quick. So I said this in a previous episode. Ayushi knows, said it in the Discord, but Mararun is acting like a child in the age audience for this show might act, right? Being selfish of your friends, or selfish, being jealous of your friends having other friends, being possessive, that's all very normal, and like learning to deal with it is important. But I don't see Mararun dealing with it. I see her getting worse, them getting worse.
Yeah, and then also the Uda, Nana, Kokoro, they're not doing anything to try and help her. I think one of my main criticisms of PreCure in general is that a lot of the times it can kind of feel like the characters aren't proactive in a lot of different ways. But maybe that's just me overgeneralizing. But yeah, I think that we haven't started to see any of Mararun's growth because they're just so obsessed with Pururun, and yeah, I guess that's all I'm going to say.
And we're only halfway through the season, so we've got time, but I was just frustrated by Mararun's behavior.
Yes.
Maybe what Mararun gave up is, like you said, like once we defeat the darkness for good, I'll never talk to Pururun again. Maybe that's why they're being extra over the top about Pururun now, because they have limited time.
Yeah. They managed to find a way to live a domesticated life with Pururun by basically saying, like, oh, those people, don't worry about them. Just spend all of your time with me. Just Mararun.
They took over our boy's house.
Tanaka's house, yes. They just stole it from him. Here's something that we've talked about off mic that I want to bring up now. Pururun and Mararun are both non-binary. They, them pronouns. When they transform into their cure form, I guess we haven't talked about this very much, but when they transform into their human forms, they're both referred to as she. And at first I thought that was because Uda didn't know that it was Pururun and Mararun, and once she figured that out, she would go back to they, them, but it seems consistent. Tanaka has pronouns. He's a boy, he's a male.
He's a man.
He's a man. You've had an ongoing joke about this. Do you want to tell our listeners?
Yes. One of the greatest fantasy series of all time is a series of books called The Furies of Calderon. Highly recommend. But there's a people in that series who do not have a legally recognized gender until they are adults. Once you're an adult, you can be a woman, but before that, you are just a whelp. And I think that's how these fairies work. I think they are they, thems until they assign themselves a gender when they are able to transform.
Absolutely. And, I don't care. I do care about having non-binary representation. I am not bothered that we have a character, or two characters, or multiple characters that use they, them pronouns. It's just interesting because we've only seen 4 fairies, 2 of which are adults and have definitive, like, they have binary pronouns, queen, she, and Tanaka, him. And then we have the 2 younger fairies, who are they, them. So it's absolutely possible that once you graduate high school, you get a diploma, you get assigned pronouns.
You grow up and you realize gender norms are inescapable and you might as well give in, and you start making tradwife content on YouTube.
God, that's the true Zetsubo right there. Goodness gracious. All right, let's just go through my notes. Like I said, we didn't rewatch these episodes, so I don't know if we're going to remember anything from a month ago. But giving up what one loves the most is, I feel incredibly dark for PreCure. Last episode, I gave a mini speech explanation about how you should meet media on the level that it's at, and so lots of other PreCure have the loss of friendship or worrying that someone doesn't love you anymore, and that is tragic, and it sucks. But this is one of the ones where I'm like, that hits really hard even for adults, because most of the they don't like me anymore is simple miscommunications that I think adults are more capable of handling. But give up the thing you love most, ooh.
Well, and it was shot and played off very much as a death scene.
Yes.
For Purun. The two of them held hands and there were tears in their eyes and they were like, we're gonna do this, and I'm going to get emotional just talking about it. I thought it was really well done. But you're right, very dark for PreCure. I don't think they've gone this serious since Heartcatch.
Well, and we didn't watch every season between now and then. I didn't get a chance to watch a mystery episode of PreCure. I guess that segment is just basically canceled.
I think you should lie. I think you should make up an episode. We could see if anybody calls you out for it. I mean, obviously you can't now because
we could edit this out.
No, but I would know you were lying.
That's true. Here's another thing to go back to what you were saying earlier about Marin not giving up anything. Marin had big teary eyes during that scene, looking at Purin, being like, goodbye, Purin. And then next episode, she's fine. And I don't know. I kind of wish that she also couldn't remember who Purin was, but knew that they/she as Kirkis, they as Marin, had a duty to protect, but didn't understand why they had a duty to protect. And then they could fall in love all over again, and maybe in a healthier way this time, because they seem to be older when they transform. Marin doesn't call Purin sissy, it's sister, I think. And so, there's a little bit of maturation that happens there. And I've always thought, even though they've never made it explicit, that there is a bit of growing up when they transform. It's their idealized adult selves most of the time, is how I see it.
Yeah, I mean, that was true in Best Magical Girl Show of all time, Full Moon Wasagashite. She was 12 normally and 16 when she was transformed.
When she was transfigured into an adult woman.
Anyway,
that was a Cronenberg monster in case anyone needed to.
Your average woman.
They are said to be mysterious. We love Cure Kiss's design.
It's so good.
However much I don't like Marin, I love the design. It's so good.
It does remind me of Panty and Stocking, though.
With the black and the purple kind of clapping.
I also love that Kiss Zukyoon is kind of a throwback to Cure Black and Cure White.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Purin's transformation is okay. I think that they/she is really pretty.
Why don't you just pick a pronoun and stick with it? It's going to annoy me if you say they/she the whole episode.
Purin's colors are not my favorite colors. I like the black contrasting with a lighter color like a red or a pink or a purple. Whereas white and kind of seafoam green, not my thing, but they have very distinctive looks.
What do you think about the Zukyoon through your heart?
They gave Purin a gun! What responsible being, what loving God would give Purin a gun?
It's a really good point, man.
I do think that's a cool kind of catchphrase, kind of catch gesture, I guess. And I absolutely understand why Uda fell deeply, madly, irreversibly in love with Cure Zukyoon. Is Uda now romantically interested in Purin, or only interested in, does she write fanfic about Zukyoon pretending that Zukyoon is a different person?
Oh no, not the self-insert me ex-famous person fanfic. We've all been there. I haven't, actually. I never wrote any of that.
It's a common enough thing, but
I know, I just didn't want people to be like, oh, you're cringe. I am, but not for that.
Not in that way. Last thing that I have written down for episode 17, this is when they purify Cuddy, and it's a complete purification, so now he's just not evil at all. He's not going back to Team Chokerine or whatever they're called. His eyeshadow disappears in that final friendship laser, and the only thought that I could have is, who thought that his evil was stored in the eyeshadow?
Listen, men are only evil when they are wearing makeup.
That's true. Only Chokerine herself, I think that's the name of the lady, only she is choosing to be evil because women have the capacity to be either. They can choose to be good or bad. Men are either wholly good, just in their natural state, or someone puts makeup on them and they turn evil.
Absolutely. These reviews do not reflect the views of the podcasters necessarily. No, I think it's like the same as the magic that allows for the PreCure transformation. Like,
oh, okay.
In PreCure, goodness overtakes your heart, and it's outwardly expressed as a cute outfit and pink hair. And then for the bad guys, darkness overtakes your heart, and it's outwardly expressed, apparently, through makeup and biker clothes in this season.
You know what I realized? And
no telling.
There's only... there's people who will say there's only so many stories that can be told.
Did you realize you forgot to put air holes in Gary's box?
Poor Gary.
Still don't know who that is.
He had a sister.
Oh my god.
But no, I understand that they're drawing from the same kind of idea, but what were the bad guys in Sword and Shield? That wasn't Skull,
that was Team
it?
Yell.
Okay. Team Yell, Team Skull, kind of both of them together are Team Chokerine a little bit.
Yeah. Do you want to elaborate on that?
It's the aesthetics. It's the being punks who are kind of into music. Because that's what Team Yell was. They were like toxic fans.
They were toxic fans.
I guess that's not really what Cuddy and them are. Because Cuddy discovered the power of idols rather than
I would
for bad
love
idols.
for them to have been toxic fans, though. That would have been such a fun take on the villains.
I would love if Darkine was the idol that they looked up to, and we never saw her on stage in, like, fully. We just saw a silhouette, and you showed, like, a baby Cuddy being like, oh my god, she's so full of evil. I wish I were evil.
Your idol.
We have asked the question, is Sunda the most down bad character? When he showed up and he was like, oh, Kokoro, you should join the dance team. And we're like, he's pretty down bad. But then a couple of episodes later, we discovered... cannot remember sports team girl's name, but she was the most down bad character. She was like, that boy winked at me, I'm going to be madly in love with him for the next 4 years. But now, Uda has taken the crown.
A contender has hit the stage.
The series just keeps getting increasingly more down bad as we continue.
Have you ever been that down bad for a famous person? Because I don't think I have. Like, I've never had anyone that I was that, like, I'm so in love with them, I'm gonna shout their catchphrase. The closest I've come is, like, fictional characters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I did vampire training for a whole summer because of a series of vampire novels I was really into.
Now, consider you and I are neurodivergent. And I think that PreCure is aimed towards a general audience, and so maybe that's a very common thing to happen. My mom certainly tells me which actors are cute when she talks about movies, so, like, it doesn't surprise me that that's a thing.
Yeah, no, I remember girls my age trying to bond with me over their celebrity crushes and me being like, what are you talking about? You don't know these people. Why would you have a crush on them?
I have something to tell you. It's called demisexual. It's when you're only half sexual.
This is not a sexualities review podcast.
No.
God, can you imagine, like, today we are reviewing aromanticism. 7 stars.
I don't have any notes for episode 19. The girls look for Zukyoon and kiss. I do think that this episode was the one with the vroom vroom girl. And I loved them being in their little, like, tribal circle, and they're all going vroom vroom, and then it zooms out and Nana's sitting there like, they're all idiots. They're all stupid.
That was delightful.
Yes.
I think that Clark Kent Superman could have gotten really into the vroom vroom thing.
Depends on the version, but absolutely the 2025 version. Do you remember anything about this episode in specific?
No, I mean, I liked it. I thought the side character for the episode was cute. But like you said, it felt like kind of a nothing episode because, like, the episode before it was we want to look for Zukyoon and kiss, and the episode was we want to look for Zukyoon and kiss. Pururun floating around in the background and Uda not, like, seeing them did give me a, oh my god, just turn around, Uda.
Yeah, the other thing
eventually she did, but, like...
Yeah. One thing that did occur to me, one of the episodes ended with Kiss and Zukyoon looking out over the city, and I honestly almost wrote down, you heard the cold open at the beginning of this episode. There was a cold open before last episode. They all start with in an alternate universe or in an AU or in another world. But I honestly almost wrote down, in another world, we would see Zukyoon and Kiss trying to navigate how to get money, how to find a living space, because, like, what are they going to do? Just, like, stand on top of rooftops even when they have to sleep? That's ridiculous. But then it turns out the show actually answered that question for us, eventually.
I'm going to say something cursed. Are you ready?
Oh, no.
Tanaka giving soy boy energy. He just let them take over his house with no fight.
Oh,
what's
goodness
that about?
gracious. They're friends.
That's his office. He has a sacred duty. Do you think he still lives there, or do you think he's just, like, sleeping at the cafe now?
I mean, if he didn't notice that two people moved into his room, or his house, I guess he wasn't there.
Well, they moved in during the day when he was not away, but, like, after he discovered he was there, where is this man sleeping? Does he turn into a fairy and curl up on Uda's pillow? That's not appropriate. He's their manager.
This documentary just exposes that this famous movie or person adjacent to movies would turn into a small woodland creature and curl up on the pillow of one of the people working on his films. Could you imagine? People would be like, "You've lost your goddamn minds. Mm-hmm. Turn into a small woodland creature. What are you talking about?"
What? How? No, I believe that happens in the universe where everyone in Hollywood has the power to turn into a single creature.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
So, like, nobody's confused by the creature turning into, but, like, sleeping on people's pillows.
One thing that I did appreciate about the Uda is madly, deeply, irreversibly in love with Zukyoon episode is apparently she didn't know what a fandom is, so Kokoro gets to explain to her. She explains, I kid you not, what a fave is. Now, fave is short for calculator. That's a joke that only Smallland fans would get, I think. But you know, it's just that was a little strange, but they explained how you feel like you're getting swamped in your feelings, and the way they were describing it, I think that might be a real thing, but, like, listen, I do not understand the super obsessed Idol fans. I do not get it. I have bands that I like. I have celebrities and YouTubers that I like, but I don't understand this, like, I'm going to watch their videos on repeat.
Everything I've learned about the Idol fandom, I've learned against my will, but they really do have, like, their own culture and language for stuff. So, like, there's the swamp. That's when you're in a state of obsession. You're stuck in the swamp.
Well, and it's not just that your fave is your favorite. It's like your fave is the person that you would kill for.
Well, and, like, so there's Japanese idol culture, and then there's Korean idol culture. And I think there's some crossover, but I think there's also some distinct stuff. So in, like, K-pop fandom, your favorite is called your bias because you're biased for them.
Sure. Okay. Completely new world to me, and I'm not sure if You Idol is completely bringing me into that environment, I guess.
Like I said, neither of us have ever been celebrity people.
That is true.
It just doesn't work for us. I look at them and I'm like, how dare you dress in an outfit that costs $15,000 when there are people who can't afford insulin?
Absolutely. This is not a talk about the rising cost of insulin and the American healthcare system podcast.
It's not. Healthcare for who now?
So now we see Tanaka's fairy form for the first time. I mean, it's really cute. He's adorable. I was kind of hoping that it would be more distinctive. I was hoping that he would be, like, rounder or, like, taller or something. He looks like another one of the fairies.
He's just a little guy.
Just a little guy.
He's cute, though.
I wrote down Uda f***ing dies in my notes. Now, again, I didn't go back and re-watch these episodes. I guess she must have been hit by, like, a blast and she must have, like, fallen in slow motion or whatever. But, like, could you imagine? Just in this episode, Uda dies. You know, it's funny. We took a momentary break because the dogs were being crazy. And I remember why Uda died. It wasn't that she got hit by an attack and she fell over dramatically. It was that there was something... Oh, it was the Curalite. Purin produced it at one point, and they realized they dropped it somewhere up the mountain because they went to a mountain view. And Uda decides to go and find it, but it starts heavily raining. And there's, like, a long pause, and they're like, oh, she's not coming back. And we were just like, did she fall down the mountain and die?
That's right, and it turned out she had the flu. That was really, like, emotional, too, because, like, Uda, babe, it's okay. You can make another Curalite.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so that's why I wrote down that Uda dies, and I think she starts the next episode with like a cold or something, but she gets over it immediately, so it's almost like there was no consequences for her. I really prefer serialized shows where each episode leads into the next, rather than the formulaic, you could watch 3 episodes out of order and not tell what they were supposed to be in. But anyways, do you have any final thoughts about these episodes as a whole?
I really liked the scene with Uda and Purun singing together. I thought that was really nice.
Yeah, there are some really good emotions in these episodes. And even though you and I, as adults, with pattern recognition and possible cynicism in our hearts, we could say, like, oh, of course they're going to get their memories back. I'm pretty sure we predicted that last episode before we even knew for sure Purun was going to lose their memories. But at the same time, it's all about execution. I think it was executed very well. Purun and Uda continue to be, I think, my favorite friendship in this season, even if Kokoro remains, I think, my favorite character.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this season has done a better job than some of the seasons on selling me on the friendship between the main cure and the fairy.
Yeah.
Specifically,
I think so.
This last group of episodes, like, their relationship was there in the first, 15 episodes, but this is really, like, hammered it home.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's one of those things where you need the first 15 episodes. Really quick tangent. We've talked about this on another episode. Brandon Sanderson, amazing author, wrote a book called Way of Kings. It's like 1,000 pages long, and it is a good book, but it is the book that you read when you have when you trust Sanderson, when you know that he will deliver by the end of the book. I did not have trust in Sanderson because it was my first book from the series that I read, and I thought it was 800 pages of boring stuff and then 200 pages of really cool action stuff, but you need those 800 pages in order for the payoff to work.
Yes.
So it's why Superman made me feel like crap for 45 minutes, and so that at minute 46, someone can punch another someone, you can be like, yeah, I wanted that guy to get punched.
And he sure did.
Yes. So, we can we can predict what's going to happen. In our next episode of Cure of the What Now Law, we will be covering, hang on, I gotta get the list up, episodes 22, 23, 24, and 25. The first one of those is Idol PreCure versus Zukyoon Kiss. I think they're just going to realize that it's cool that people can have 2 different things that they like. It's okay to like Pokemon and Digimon. You don't have to go to war over the differences.
Oh yeah, they're rivals now. I can't remember if we said that earlier.
Sure, why not? The next episode is called This Is My Signature. So I guess maybe Purun doesn't know how to write and has to learn like what a signature is. Or they find out that sometimes idols draw like a rocket ship instead of their actual signature. So they have to decide what their cool signature looks like.
This whole time you've been signing the little tablets at restaurants. You've been an idol and I didn't know. I've been
an idol in secret. Where did the silver-haired boy go?
Where is he?
I thought for sure he'd show up during one of these episodes.
He's going to show up during the Idol showdown and he's going to be like, remember, just because you're rivals doesn't mean you can't be friends.
You don't have to start choking each other out. You can just have a friendly rivalry.
Yes. And you can kiss.
Episode 24, Tanakan's Summer Holiday.
Oh, good. He's going to get a break.
Could you imagine if it was an episode without any of the PreCure or any of the Team Chokeroom stuff?
I would love that. Or you see it in the background, but he's just like walking on the beach eating an ice cream cone.
Oh my god, you just see like a giant Godzilla like rise above the tree line and then you see like 3 little dots punching it. That's probably not what we're going to get. What do you think that episode will be about, kind of jokes aside? Like, do you think they're actually going to do a Tanaka-only episode?
No. Because you have to have the transformations to pad the runtime and also sell our toys.
Yeah.
But I think that the girls will be like, Tanaka worked so hard for us and he's had his house stolen. Let's try to do something nice for him. But they'll stress him out in the process of trying to do something nice for him. And then they'll have to be like, we're so sorry, Tanaka.
See, I'm thinking of it in a slightly different way. I'm thinking that maybe he goes on vacation or tries to go on vacation, but emergencies keep rising up. But then eventually he's just like, no, this is my job, so I don't need a vacation, which is a terrible message. You should love what you do, but you shouldn't be a slave to your work. But anyways, that could be something that happens in that episode. Well, I guess we'll see.
I think he's going to go on a date with his boyfriend / future husband, Nanami.
Oh,
They're going
okay.
to bond over how being a salaryman is hard.
Can you remind me who that is, or is that just a made-up name?
It's your boy from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, Nanami! Yes! Oh my god! Team Chokorine sucks! I can't believe that I can get this hyper-fixated on something and then forget the lines from it like a month later. It's insane. The last episode we will be watching for next episode of the podcast is Wink in a Field of Sunflowers. I have a prediction.
Okay.
Actually, this one hasn't even aired yet as of time of recording, so I could go through and I could read the little summaries on the Wikipedia. This one has nothing, but I have an idea. Nana gets transported back in time and meets Vincent van Gogh. And it's an edutational episode.
Did you say edutational?
Yeah, like educational. Oh, it's just called educational, isn't it? But it's an episode about Van Gogh and how cool he was. They leave out the ear thing because that would be a little intense for PreCure.
And the depression.
And the depression. They might be like, sometimes I get sad. And she'll be like, sometimes you just have to wink. And then they just kind of ignore maybe stuff that happened because of the depression. They're just like, he just winked a lot. Now there's a lot more sunflowers in the world. And there's when your do final thought outro goes here. Thanks for listening, everyone. And someday the Andrew video will be available for listening. Please let me out of the dungeon. I need to finish the video. I guess let me back into the dungeon. Anyways, goodbye, everyone. Record scratch sound effect. I forgot that we sometimes have fan letters, but we asked on the Discord if anyone had any thoughts about these episodes, and AU, PreCure's #1 fan, had some thoughts.
The first thought, which, yes, we all know it, we've known it this whole time, oh dang, Marin gay AF.
I mean, absolutely. It's just, it's their eternal mood. You know, you go to their MySpace page and their status is just, I'm gay.
Marin would have, like, the pink and black MySpace with, like, the glittery hearts all over it and, like, pictures of Purun everywhere. Do you remember, like, the days of the really bad, like, HTML?
Yeah, I think a little bit.
I wasn't allowed to have social media as a kid. I really wanted a MySpace so that I could do those things, but my dad wouldn't let me. So I lived vicariously through my Neopets page, which you could also do bad HTML on.
I loved that. AU also loves Zukyoon and Marin. Now, I don't understand this one. Help me. I'm going to bleep it.
Yeah.
But what does Purun in this case mean? Does that mean beautiful?
No, it comes from, like, drag queen culture, and it means, like, sassy and, like, serving a look.
Okay. Yeah. So sort of like an ensemble, a good put-together outfit kind of a thing, maybe a little bit?
Yeah, but you can't just, like, wear an outfit. You also have to have the vibes.
You have to embody it. You have to have the spirit of the outfit. Okay, I like that. They were immediately OP as heck. Doesn't surprise me. I think that's usually how it goes for mid-season cures. I love that it's a duo, though, so it's not one person who shows up and be like, I'm the most cool. It's two people who are like, I'm going to grab you, throw you into the other guy, and you're going to shoot a laser. There's also, Purun's VA has been in other stuff, Love Live and Pole Princess, and so AU just kind of already had expectations for what Cure Kiss was going to be like.
Diva behavior. Diva is a good word. That's what it means to serve is you're being a diva.
Okay, fantastic. Please be careful about using that word too much because I do have to censor it every single time.
Well, I hate that word, but it says it in the fan letter.
It's the culture. It's the moment.
Yes, it is in the zeitgeist. AU calling out the song reminds me that we didn't talk about their song. I liked it. It was sweet. It wasn't a banger. It didn't make me get, like, hyped up for battle, which is what I expect from my...
I thought you said that a banger was a British euphemism that I shouldn't use. Oh, I said right banger. Okay.
Yeah.
America only has left bangers.
Oh my god, we let you out in public.
Not willingly.
But did you like the song Quick, yes or no?
I don't remember it, so I'm going to say no.
It was like, do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, I'm still going to say no.
Yeah, you would remember it if you liked it. You tend to listen to things on repeat.
Yes.
How many times have you heard the Idol song from K-pop contenders?
A lot of people think Tanaka is hot because of his messy hair. Just goes to show that the right hairstyle can really make or break a look.
Women love men who are just like a little pathetic.
Yeah. Please stop bothering me.
Nagatoro?
Nagatoro. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Nagatoro.
And then we talked about this earlier, but the thing about how people are on my same Marin hate train, is like, this is normal childish behavior. And like, yes, it is. And it's well written. And it makes sense to be in the show. But also it's annoying to watch.
I feel like, we talked about it, but I feel like there's no plot progression yet in terms of the character. The most meaningful we've gotten is Marin looking at Purin, being a good friend, and being like, oh, what's going on? And maybe there's a single thought floating through that bald-ass head of hers. I don't know. But to me, like, Usopp from One Piece is constantly being challenged on his cowardice, and he has to overcome it. Whereas Zenitsu from Demon Slayer, I don't think the show does as good of a job of showing him trying to overcome his cowardly shortcoming.
Strong disagree, but this is not a Demon Slayer podcast.
This is not a Demon Slayer podcast, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if you give me a character who has flaws, but is working to overcome them, I like that. A character who has flaws, and eventually one day someone tells them, like, you have flaws, work it out. I like that. But a character who has flaws who's just like, I'm going to continue to be flawed, like, unless you do that in, like, a funny or an interesting way, I'm going to get frustrated. Personally, that's my emotional journey.
Absolutely, and that, I think, has been the real final thought.
Doot. Final thought. Outro goes here.
Thanks for listening to everybody. Don't forget to ring that bell. I realized I said thanks for listening to everybody, and I got lost.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Don't forget to serve.
Your country?
Serve country.
Yes.
Well, friends, all journeys must end. And now today's journey has finished, and we must bid you goodbye. We hope you have a good day, we hope you were kind to those around you, and we'll see you again. If you want to contact the show, you can do so at kingofthewhatpod@gmail.com. You can leave a comment on our YouTube channel or rate us on your podcatcher of choice.